Hello, hello, hello. Okay, Japan. Um, as you notice, by the way, so you see where you're at in your notes. This is our Kublai Khan stuff right here. Yeah. And so now Japan. As you notice, there's not a lot here. Okay, I'm not being rude. This early in history, all we really need to do is set up Japan. I'm not dissing Japan. Y'all, I took a Japanese class in college, not the language, history. And I mean, it was crazy detailed. There's a lot going on. But as far as like the grand scheme of world history, they're going to be much more important later. So all I got to do is like set them up and then we'll come back to them later. Okay. So, Japan. Oh. Okay. I'm uploading a video. So, Japan, I don't want that. That's not what I wanted. Um, oh, okay. I was like, I know somewhere. Okay, here we go. So, Japan. Right here we have China. Yes? Japan is as far east on a map as you can go, but it's a collection of islands that actually looks like a J. It looks like a lowercase j. Do you see this right here? With a dot on top. Dot. There's a dot. Japan looks like a lowercase j with a dot on top. Okay, Japan to start out is actually just a whole bunch of different clans. Like the Mongolians, a whole bunch of different clans, not really a central government for a while. Now, that'll change whenever we have a king who declares, oops, I didn't put it on here. He declares that he is a descendant of the goddess Amaterasu. I have a picture of her. I know I do because I show it all the time. What the heck? Here she is. Okay. There she is. The sun goddess Amaterasu. Japan, the religion of Japan early on is called Shinto. I did an entire paper on it in my Japan class, and it's a really interesting religion. It is animistic, okay? I was thinking about all these details of Shinto, I'm sorry. But the creator gods are Izanagi and Izanami. Husband and wife, brother and sister. That should not surprise you anymore. Okay. Basically, he takes his whatever that is spear, and there we go. He dips it into the ocean to start creating Japan. They're like the creators. Belief is that he creates Japan first. That's why the Japanese are the most important. And then other things start being created, like other land masses and stuff. Okay. And then again, of course, this is showing you Amaterasu, the sun goddess. So the government, with the king declaring himself Amaterasu's descendant, theocratic monarchy, yeah, that will change. Okay. We have a period of Japan called the feudal period. I'll discuss feudalism more when we get to Europe, but it's called the feudal period. It looks like this, if you want to write it. Yeah, the feudal period. What we end up with is a puppet king. A puppet king is a king who's only king in name and he's totally controlled by someone else. If you came to me and said, Miss, you're not going to teach Japan today, you're going to teach this. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm a puppet. I'm doing whatever you tell me. Okay, maybe they're threatened by military. Maybe they're threatened by, I don't know, secrets. Maybe they're threatened by killing family members. I don't know. But we will have a lot of puppet rulers throughout this year. Several. Okay, this is the first time. Who really controls Japan during the feudal period? Well, it's someone called the shogun. The shogun. The shogun is the head general, the leader of the military, the leader of the samurai. Basically, what we're going to end up with during the feudal period is yes, we have a central ruler. Yes, we have a king, emperor, whatever you want to call him. But in actuality, it's the shogun who really rules things. The shogun controls things through a puppet emperor backed by the military, the samurai. Test question. It's on the test tomorrow. The shogun rules through a puppet emperor backed by the samurai. The shogun tells the emperor what to do. The emperor does it. And if he doesn't, they'll overthrow him. Military. Guys, this is the first time I'm saying this, and I'm going to say it a billion times. You have got to be careful who your military leaders are. Because typically the military is going to follow your generals more than they're going to follow some king who sits on a throne that says, go fight for me. They don't care about the king sitting on a throne. They have more respect for a general. So if the general says kill the king, all right. He must have a good reason. You better be careful who your generals are. We'll see this again with Julius Caesar. We'll see this again with Napoleon Bonaparte. You better be careful who your generals are. They could take over. Oops. Okay, Japan's going to be in the feudal period until oh my gosh, forever. All right. The samurai are just like the knights of the time period. They are the cavalry. They are the experienced warriors. When we go to war, we don't just take the samurai. We take peasant fighters too. But these are the people who are specifically trained. Okay? They're the career military. This is my favorite of the samurai paintings. I want to paint it. I think it looks way cool. Here's some real samurai armor. Real. Typically the samurai, they didn't have a uniform. Typically the samurai made their own armor. So quite often it was handed down through the family. The family, the son will make it fit him or whatever. So you might have the same armor as your father. Just it fits you. I think it's cool. And all of this is intimidation purposes. It also shows status. Typically, the higher the horns, status. But the masks are definitely for intimidation. And, of course, and protection, yeah. These woven things right here, it's not like a breastplate. You have that here. But these woven things are actually really strong. It's hard to get a sword through that. Isn't it cool? Again, all this woven stuff, it's hard to get a sword through. You can slash it, but you can't poke it easily. Here's another one. I like looking at samurai armor because they're all so different. I like how much this one juts out, with the little cape. Oh, I'm pointing at it. You can't see what I'm pointing at. Like with the little cape over here. I think it's way cool. Because like this right here is the body. But I like the cape that like comes out in the back. I have several. That's not the last one, I don't think. Yeah. Here's a whole collection of them. Look at these horns. Those are some crazy horns. How do you balance those? I don't even know. I like the red and black one. Move my head so you can see these two over here. This one's really pretty. They're like a piece of artwork, all in their own right. The samurai use a whole bunch of different weapons, but they are known for the katana sword. It's curved and it's really, really skinny and it's iron, but it's lightweight. So they can do a whole bunch of all over the place. And the samurai are supposed to follow a code called Bushido. It's right here. It's the same idea as European chivalry. Courage, bravery, strength, respect, taking care of the little person, not being selfish. What did I put down there? Oh, duh, honor. Whew. Guys, listen. The Japanese are big on honor. That's going to play a big role even later in World War II. They're big on honor. And if they feel like they have dishonored themselves, their families, their group of guys, whatever, they'll get that honor back. How? It's called seppuku. Seppuku. It's suicide, but it's ritualized suicide. We saw this in World War II with the kamikaze, the airplanes that just boom, straight into our ships. They were willing to die for Japan to keep their honor rather than admit defeat and be dishonored. The same is true with the samurai. If they feel like they've dishonored someone, they would commit suicide. It's this whole ritualized thing. I'll explain it more in class if I'm actually in class, and I'll like get on the ground and like show you how it works. So if you're watching this, because you weren't here, ask, come into tutorials or whatever, and I'll show you. But they have a specific dagger that they use. It's all very ritualized. The Romans will do this same type of thing, except they didn't call it seppuku. They just called it like falling on your sword. Same type idea. But it's Roman. It's like just a different place. So kind of interesting. Okay, we've set everything up. Japan right now is ruled by a puppet emperor, but who really has control? The shogun is calling all the shots. And who backs the shogun? The samurai. We're coming back to Japan in a little bit. And I believe we are done. So I believe you have a test tomorrow, sweet angels. Das ist alles. Bye. Let me save this. Okay, bye.